Alright, so today we are going to be spending 200 days in Minecraft 1 block. If you haven't already watched my first 100 days, you should probably do that, then come back and watch this one. But basically in this video, we're just going to be spending another 100 days on my 1 block island. And in this video, I want to accomplish some things. I want to find an elytra, kill the wither twice, actually decorate my island so it doesn't look like I'm a terrible builder, even though I definitely am, and finally actually build myself a proper house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing. It literally only takes 2 clicks and it really helps me out. So with that, let's just jump into it. So to give some people a refresher, the way the last video ended is we literally just killed the Ender Dragon and raced back home for our 100th day. We didn't have time to explore the end, to find an end city, nothing. So that's immediately what I did. I got rid of all the extra stuff in my inventory that I didn't need, and made our way to the end to start looking for an end city, primarily because I wanted an elytra. It took me quite a while. I ended up having to travel like 1,000 blocks, use a ton of ender pearls, mine some blocks, bridge some gaps, but finally we found ourselves an end city. And sure enough, it did have a boat, which indicates that there is an elytra up there somewhere. I also made sure to kill plenty of shulkers, so that way once we get back home, we can go ahead and make some shulker boxes for some extra easy storage. I also looted the chests in here just to get some free loot, because some iron is also really hard to get in 1 block, so had to make sure I grabbed that. Made my way over to the ship and grabbed our elytra. Now, I don't know why I'm this stupid, but I always forget to write down the coordinates of where my portal is to go back home. So I literally just had to climb this ship, put on my elytra, and fly in a random direction, hoping to find a portal to get out of here. You'd think I'd remember to actually write down the coordinates by now, considering how many times I've done this. But no, I literally always forget. I ended up not finding one, having to tower up, fly some more, didn't find it, and just had to travel and travel and travel. I ran out of ender pearls at one point and had to start getting some more. And then I found a second end city before I even found a portal out of here. I didn't really need the loot inside, but I figured, hey, we can travel to the top and that'll give me plenty of height to start using my elytra to maybe find a portal on my way out of here. Spoiler alert! I did not find a portal out. And I was yet again out of ender pearls and had to kill more endermen just so that way I could pearl around and travel faster, where I found a third end city. Yes, my third end city before I found a portal out of here. And on top of that, this end city had a ship and therefore had an elytra. So now I had 2 elytras and no portal out of here. I eventually ran out of blocks and I couldn't get to the ship, so I had to just make the shulkers hit me so I could levitate over towards it. You know, gotta use them pro gamer tactics. Oh my gosh. But I got the height, I flew, and finally, after jumping off of that end city, I finally found a portal out of here. This took way longer than I wanted it to, but hey, we finally made it out and we had 2 elytras. So as soon as I got back, went ahead, sorted my inventory, got rid of all that extra junk that I absolutely did not need, you know, just sort of cleaned everything up real nice and neat. And due to that massive adventure, I was running quite low on food, so I had to start breeding my cows again. Thankfully, I did leave quite a bunch from last time I killed them to make breeding easier, so that's what I did. Grab some wheat, bred them, and I just stored my inventory for like the next 10 to 20 minutes. And then once I was done with that, I decided to break down all of this bamboo so I could restructure this part of my island. The only reason I had this much bamboo was to trade for sticks to give to villagers for emeralds to get the diamond armor. I didn't need this much bamboo anymore. I could massively downsize and actually get myself a proper tree farm. Yeah, I just repurposed all of those bamboo into sticks to get the emeralds. Not that I really needed them at this point, but hey, at least I had them. And I could start demolishing this part of my island to sort of remake it, make it look nicer and fancier and something proper. I also had no purpose for this throne where I stored my pets. I could repurpose that as well, so I broke that. This horse really wasn't a pet, but I figured he was pretty cool and I could keep him. Until I forgot I didn't have blocks below that and accidentally dropped the horse into the void. Whoops. While doing all of this, I ended up almost walking into my end portal like 5 times and it started to annoy me to the point where I realized I probably should just build a staircase to this thing. So skip ahead a boring amount of building, and here we go. I finished the staircase and I just simply really quick replaced it with a bunch of purple blocks because I had those, and I mean, it's an end portal and a staircase leading to the end portal, so I figured, hey, use end city blocks to decorate it, make it look super nice. And there you go. I now had a staircase down there, so I didn't have to worry about tripping and falling into it. Once that was done, I could finally actually start repurposing this part of my island to make a proper tree farm, and I decided to make this area a sort of circle for my bamboo, first of all, because I don't know, I like circles. Circles are cool. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. I'm a horrible builder. But there you go. There's my bamboo. Done. Simple. I like it. Then I started working on a place for my trees, and that's when I ran out of blocks. So I decided, hey, you know what? We'll just plant some oak trees, grow some more blocks, finish my building, until I realized I didn't have any oak saplings anywhere. I have no idea where they went. I genuinely don't know. I don't remember throwing them away or getting rid of them. I looked for like 10 minutes and couldn't find anything, to the point where I realized I'm just gonna have to start mining my one block, and hopefully I get a chest, and hopefully it has an oak sapling, because there's no other way for me to get an oak sapling. So I just started mining away, hoping and praying for an oak sapling. Eventually a mob party spawned, which is not what I wanted, and I'm gonna replay this in slow motion. This skeleton shoots my bird, which pops the bird into the air and body blocks my arrow, thus killing my pet parrot. And then somehow, how does that arrow hit that bird? I just lost 2 of my parrots to these stupid skeletons. So I sort of just moved them out of the way. I mean, there was nothing I could do. I still needed my sapling, so I just continued mining until I realized I have oak leaves as decoration right here. I can just break these and get oak saplings. How did I not think of this? This is the reason why you don't play Minecraft at 2 in the morning. Your brain just doesn't work. I could have saved myself so much time and 2 parrots' lives if I just realized I had oak leaves as decoration. And sure enough, after breaking a few of the leaves, I got an oak sapling and we were ready to go. So I planted it, used some bone meal to speed the process, broke the leaves, got some extra saplings, and just did this over and over and over and over again until we had plenty of wood left to finish our farm and plenty of saplings to get this thing going again. So I just started finishing this all off, and as I was finishing my tree farm area, I looked into the void and I saw just a random bee down there, which I never had a bee spawn in this video. Like, this bee has been sitting here since the last video at Y0 down at the void. I don't know how long. It's probably been at least a couple dozen days. So I just decided, you know what? We're gonna put this bee out of his misery. Just rest in peace, little guy. I couldn't rescue him. He's just, yeah. So yeah, we finished our tree farm. I put a nice variety of saplings down so that way I could have some decoration blocks if I wanted. And there you go. After all this time, finally, tree farm was up and running, and we can just add a nice little time lapse of all of my nice bamboo and trees growing. I don't know why I love time lapses so much, but I think they're just really nifty. So yeah, enjoy. Once I was done with that, I realized that I really could use some more food. I was on my last little bit, but before I killed my cows, I wanted a looting sword to get as much food as possible. So I spent a little bit of time enchanting, disenchanting, going over and over and over and over again until finally, there you go, looting sword. I then went to kill my bunch of cows, which I have been breeding the entire time, and just absolutely slaughtered them. Goodbye, cows. Good riddance. Thank you for your food. I did leave some of them in case I needed food later for breeding, but I mean, I had like 4 stacks of cooked steak now, so we are set. Once that was done, I no longer needed the wheat because I finished my breeding, so I felt free just to go ahead and tear down my wheat farm so I could move it and make it look fancier. I did try to save as much of this dirt as possible when breaking it down because dirt is a limited supply on a 1-block island, so yeah, want to save as much of that as possible. I then moved my farm over a little bit and again, made it a circle because why the heck not, and I waterlogged some blocks underneath those wood planks there. As you can see, it helped keep them out of the way and it looked cool from the side. And as I was running back to my base, I just pressed tab out of habit from playing multiplayer so much, and that number right there is how many blocks you've broken on your 1 block, and I realized we were pretty close to, you know, something. So I broke a few blocks and nice. I am a child. Yeah, I finished that, planted all of my seeds, and we had our farm up and running. We had a tree farm, bamboo farm, everything was looking super nice. And I figured, you know what, again, I want this thing to look fancy. I want it to be nice. So what I just decorated. I don't know, I had quartz, I made an archway to my tree farm. Do you guys like it? It's by far and away the most simple thing my mind could come up with. I am a horrible builder, but yeah, I did the thing. I decided to expand it and fancify it a bit more. So, boom, there you go. There's some bookshelves, and I am rich, so I made the floor out of gold. So, there you go. Fancy. Once I was done with that, I wanted to move on to something else, so I stored all the crap I didn't need, got my inventory ready, and I decided we are heading into the nether to find us some netherite. I didn't have any TNT or beds for explosions to make this easier, so I just had to use my pickaxe to slowly but surely break away the netherrack. Now, thankfully, I didn't need that many ancient debris. I only needed 6 for my full armor of netherite due to the fact that earlier in my past 1 block video, I actually did get a fair amount of netherite from the 1 block. So yeah, I mined for a while to the point where I only needed 2 more, and ta-da! There is my last 2. I now have 6 ancient debris, plus all the other ancient debris I got from earlier, and as you can see, this is the massive area that I mined out just to get those 6 ancient debris. I always hate getting netherite, but there you go. It was done. I had enough for full armor. I didn't really need anything else. I just wanted the armor to keep myself safe. But before I did that, I made brand new armor and decided to get it max enchants because my current armor wasn't really enchanted that well. It was kind of iffy. So I just did that over and over and over again. Thankfully, I didn't need to spend too much time on this because I could just combine my old armor with my new armor to get even better enchantments. And I had a really great XP grinder. So yeah, that's what I spent those few days doing until finally we could combine all of our armor to get the best armor possible and then combine it with our netherite to get the netherite armor. I'm pretty sure I ended up getting max enchanted armor, which was pretty awesome. I got literally everything I wanted. We looked super cool, covered in debris, got the achievement, not scared of dying to any mob anymore, can safely kill the wither. Everything was looking up for me. Absolutely loved it. And we could finally move on to another project. Like I said, I wanted to decorate my island and make everything better, so I had a plan. I was gonna take my current villagers and move them over to the right more into a much smaller condensed area. I only made it that big initially so I could breed them. Once I was done with that, I could take all of my mobs and then move them essentially where the villagers are in a pen area there. That would make the left part of my island completely free, where I could eventually make a proper house. Because this area really isn't a house, it's basically a glorified storage area for my chests and all that. So yeah, now that I had a plan in mind, we could actually start to get to work on a lot of this. Now I wanted to build my villager pen out of quartz to make it look super fancy and nice, so I went to the nether to get a bunch more quartz because I didn't quite have enough for the project that I wanted, so I went ahead, got all of that, made my way back, and I'm gonna put it right here, but you don't want to see that because that's super boring, so quick scene cut, and there it is. Just add the final bit of decoration to fancify it up, and this entire area is done, and now all I have to do is simply move the villagers into their designated areas. But I needed to wait to nighttime to do that because I had a plan on how to move them. So in the meantime, I did a little bit of farming, breaking my bamboo, replacing it, yada yada, bunch of boring stuff while I waited for nighttime. Once it was done, my plan was I would get a villager that is sleeping, break their bed, and then slowly start placing that bed towards the new pen area. And as you can see, they're attracted to the bed because they want to sleep, but I'm not gonna let them. Once they get close enough, I throw a carrot where I want to store them. They get interested, you know, food, super cool. I then lock them into their new home where they will never leave. I then had to do that slowly but surely with all the other villagers. It literally took the entire night to move every single one of them. It was a very tedious process, but it was the most efficient thing I could think of. And I mean, it worked pretty well. Once I got down just to the cleric, I decided, you know what? I don't need you. I only got them because I wanted to give them the rotten flesh to get the emeralds because I wanted the armor earlier, past video, blah, blah, blah. I don't need them anymore, so I just killed them. Bye. And then completely demolished their house. Good riddance. Done with that. This area was so much cleaner, so much nicer. I absolutely loved it. Next, I wanted to sort of fly around my island with an elytra so I could kind of get an idea of how things are going to go down, and I remembered I had a sugarcane on my chest because I wanted fireworks to fly around with the elytra, but you need paper. I didn't have any paper, so I just had to grow this one sugarcane. Also, while passing by, I noticed so many random animals just had gathered in my turtle pen. I didn't want them. They were lame. This pen was meant for turtles, and I let them live long enough. It was finally time. They had to go. I was going to be moving these turtles soon. Just got rid of them. Just just ignore the animal cruelty. Yet again, I got absolutely bored of building, so I wanted to move on to something else, and I already had 2 wither skulls. Again, from the past video, the wither skulls, I believe, were in chests. So to spawn a wither, I only needed 1 wither skull. The only problem is, I had no idea where a fortress was. I didn't have to find one for the previous video to go to the end because the 1 block just spawned blazes for me to get the blaze rod, so I never had to find the fortress. So I just ran around the nether, pearled around until eventually in this little ravine area, I found my fortress. So there you go. Pearled down and killed the withers over and over again, trying to get my remaining skull. I came across some nether wart, quickly mined that in case I wanted to do some farming, saw a couple of wither skeletons, killed them. You guys know the process. I'm sure you've all done this plenty of times, but there you go. I did get my final wither skull. It didn't take that long due to the fact that I had looting on my sword, which is pretty nice, and I just simply made my way out of there and made my way back to my base. Once I was back on my base, I prepared for the wither fight by getting some instant health potions. I had my golden apples, my ender pearls. We were ready to go. But I couldn't exactly fight the wither on my base because I didn't want to destroy it. So I decided we were going to fight the wither on its own home turf in the nether. And I had this absolutely massive area that I mined out looking for all of my ancient debris. So I decided this is as good a place as any to kill the wither. So I got everything ready, spawned him in, and here we go. Unfortunately, as soon as he spawned, it literally just went right into a pool of lava, which was absolutely infuriating because I couldn't kill it in the lava. Otherwise, the nether star would get burned as soon as I killed the wither, which was the whole point of killing the wither. And I just sort of sat back and let it attack me, hoping it would, get the idea and, fly out of the lava and come at me. But it didn't. So I literally had to walk around the side and shoot it to try and literally just boost it out of the lava because it wouldn't do it itself. And eventually it did work and it got out of the lava, so there you go, wither, you're welcome. I got you out of that agony. It then got low enough so I got up to it, used my sword, and these random piglins and hoglins spawned out of absolute nowhere and distracted the wither and were hitting me, and things were going insane, but I was taking literally no damage because my armor is absolutely OP. It's insane how good netherite armor is. So I got my final hits on it, and there you go. Got my nether star. For some reason, did not get an achievement for picking up the star or killing the wither. I don't know. That was weird. I don't remember ever getting a star before, but I don't know. Didn't get the achievement, which I thought was really weird. I didn't really care though. Made my way back to my base, made my beacon. Didn't get an achievement for the beacon either, which is super weird. I don't know, dude. I've been getting achievements this entire time, but I didn't get those specific 2, which massively confused me. Again, though, I didn't care. I got my beacon. I decided to flex on all of you by using emerald blocks for my 1 beacon, activated it, gave myself some speed, and hey, I got that achievement for activating the beacon. I don't know why I only got that one and not the others, but there you go. I had my beacon ready to go, got my speed, made me super speedy, made things easier around the island. Absolutely loved it, and we can start on other projects. Now, this stupid sugarcane literally has not grown since I planted it, and unfortunately, you cannot bone meal sugarcane, and I really want to fly around my island, but it's just, I need the paper, I need the fireworks. So I just sat and AFK'd and waited for it to grow, hopefully for me to get paper. I AFK'd for literally 40 minutes. This right here, what you're watching, 40 minutes. Once I was done, it grew 1 block. The 2 of them. They grew what I had now 2 extra sugarcane. Are you kidding me? 40 minutes and I got that. What? I decided I didn't need it, so I just replanted it and hopefully my sugarcane would multiply exponentially eventually. Hopefully. I don't know, dude. So I just decided to get on building again, and what I wanted to do is move my cows, and I had extra purple blocks, so I just decided to make the cow pen end themed for some reason. So I went into the end to get this end stone, so I could get stone bricks to theme it, you know, end related, all of that. At this point, I noticed my shulker boxes and realized I never actually made them, so I made those and then just colored them all accordingly. I don't know. Just, there you go. I now have them if I need them ever later. I then started working on my pen, and again, I wanted the pen lowered, like how my cow pen is right now, because it makes it just super simple. It keeps it out of the way, makes it really super simple. And I made it across from my villager pen, and I decided, you know what, we can just connect the two. You know, make a nice little bridge with the cow pen. Super simple. So that's exactly what I did. And then I used the end stone to wall it off, so that way the cows could not escape, and use these slabs to finish this part, so that way I could put ladders here and climb up either end. Then transferring the cows was super simple. Just use a piece of wheat, lure them all over, get in the pen, and they all jump in like a bunch of idiots. So there you go. The cows now have their new forever home. Congratulations. I can now demolish the other one, and as you can see, like I said, we have a nice bridge from one end to the other. So I thought that was super nice. It looked cool, and it was actually useful. Once I moved all of them, just destroyed the old cow pen area, and we were all done with that completely. Spending all of that time building, finally, my sugar crane actually grew to a decent amount, enough for me to make rockets, and finally, I could actually fly around my island. And here is everything we've got. It doesn't look like much, does it? For all this time that I've spent, it's really quite sad. It's a lot, but it just doesn't physically seem like a lot. But hey, it's still a decent amount of progress. I probably could have done a lot better with the building, but you'd think after 9 years I'd be a good builder at this game, but I'm just not, and I apologize. Once I flew around, I started working on the pens for my pets, and I decided I didn't want them, you know, submerged like the cows were. I wanted them at the same level as the rest of my base, so that way I could see them and they would be on display. I tried to use a lead to get the panda out of there, but you can't attach a lead to a panda for some reason, which is super annoying. So first off, I just got rid of the mushroom cows. They were super easy. Just use the wheat, lure them in like idiots, put some glass, and boom, they're on display. Now, pandas are supposed to be attracted to bamboo, but this panda wasn't moving. Look at him, he's just looking at me, and he wasn't following me, which was infuriating. I had to make a half slab staircase, shove his fat, bony butt up that staircase, and then finally, once he was at the same level, he was now interested in the bamboo. I don't understand animals in this game, dude. They're dumb, man. But yeah, lured him in, shoved him, put the glass down, boom. He's now on display, and the only thing left now is my turtles. Shoved them in, glass up, and I actually had a third turtle, but you know, you really only need 2 turtles. I mean, yeah, so I didn't need the third turtle, man. I didn't want it either, so it just like, bye? Just fly in the void. You know what? We'll look away. Look away. We can pretend he lived. Yeah, turtles can fly. He's just chilling in the void. He's alive. I have absolutely no idea why, but I just decided to start mining blocks. I did this for like a couple of days. Again, I don't know why. I just did it. I was bored. I started mining blocks. I got some ores from it, which was super cool. And then that actually gave me the idea, hey, I should probably actually get a bunch of ores to build a second layer to my beacon. So that's what I did. The easiest way to do that is to go to the Nether and use a Silk Touch pickaxe to mine the gold ore inside the netherrack, because you can actually take that and smelt it in a furnace to get a full gold ingot rather than just gold nuggets that you would get from a regular old pickaxe. So yeah, you can actually get an absolute ton of gold from this. I came across the bastion that I looted in my first 100 days, checked to see if there's any gold I missed, and sure enough, I did miss 1 block. Mined that, and it turned out to actually be 3 blocks. 2 blocks. My bad. But yeah, I mined out this entire wall to see if there's more gold in it, and that turned out to be a massive waste of time because no, there was no more gold in this wall. So yeah, awesome. I then came across this second bastion while looking for more gold, and I decided what I was gonna do is I could see some gold in some chests from this angle, so I put on my elytra and I just flew over to the chest. So that was super simple. Grabbed all of the loot that I wanted, hurled back over to my ledge, put back on my elytra, flew to the different chests, looted that, and I did that over and over and over again until I finally looted everything that I could see from that ledge. I then went to the bridge to get the good amount of gold, and that's when I started taking damage from somewhere. I was so confused. Where am I taking damage from? I had no idea what was going on. I was getting hit, but I actually wasn't taking damage. I eventually relogged, and when I logged back on, boom, there's piglins there. So for some reason, the piglins were just invisible, and I couldn't see them first of all. I don't know. Minecraft is weird and stupid. Went over to the other end of the bridge, mined all of these gold blocks, and from these gold blocks alone, literally I could already build the second layer to my beacon. But I checked out the base a bit more, got a couple more gold, and checked the other end of this bastion, just in case for a little bit more gold. Didn't see any, so yeah. I made my way back over towards my portal, got home, threw out all the extra crap I didn't need, sorted my chests, yada yada, and started smelting all of this gold ore into actual gold ingots. Once I got all that, turned them into gold blocks, and boom, there you go. I now have a second layer to this beacon. Top layer emerald, bottom layer gold. I am rich, and I have speed, and I'm super cool, and I bet you're all jealous of me. So yeah, at this point, I decided to do a little bit more farming with the villagers to get some emeralds because I wanted to buy some more mending books from the one librarian that I had. So that way I could put this on my armor so that way it wouldn't break because obviously this is really good armor and I don't want to lose it. I managed to get 3 mending books before I ran out of emeralds. I decided to put those on my helmet and boots as those are most susceptible to breaking. And then I put the other mending book on my elytra so that way that wouldn't break and I could fly around as much as I wanted to. I then took a little nap, brought us to the next day where I immediately broke down all of those trees and realized, oh my gosh, I have an overabundance of logs that I absolutely do not need for any reason. So I turned them all into sticks, turned those sticks into emeralds with my villagers to the point that I literally maxed out the trades on all of my villagers. And now I had to wait 10 minutes so that way they could eventually resupply their trades and I could continue getting more emeralds. So I was sorting through my chest and realized I had 1 extra wither skeleton skull. I don't think I showed you this, but on my way out of the nether fortress, I killed a random wither skeleton and it just so happened to drop a skull. So I had 1 extra. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna replant my trees, get stuff going, you know, get stuff ready for my way back. And then I'm just gonna go to the nether, I'm gonna kill some withers and get a second wither skeleton. And actually, as I was flying home from my bastion, I noticed a different nether fortress that I hadn't been to, so I decided to go to this one this time to kill some wither skeletons. And as I was flying there, I saw some ghasts, so I killed them with my bow as I was flying, and that was probably the coolest thing I've ever done, and I was super proud of myself, and I hope you guys like it, and you should probably like the video and subscribe, because that was super cool. But yeah, I made it into the nether fortress, and there was an insane amount of wither skeletons, like literally an insane amount. I don't know if it was because of the biome that we were in that they were spawning at an extraordinary rate. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Look, there's 3 right here. There's 2 other in the background. There was like 3 around the corner right here. You can see the one on top. He's coming for me. We got 4 on my screen right now. It was absolutely insane. I've never had this many wither skeletons at a fortress before in my life. It was nuts. And there's another one right here at the end. And from killing all of them, I literally didn't get a single wither skeleton skull. So cool. Went exploring a bit more, found a couple more, no skull from them, killed him, finally got my first skull, and I only needed 1 more, and we could spawn ourselves a second wither. In no time flat, I found this hallway with 4 more wither skeletons, and I mean, honestly, at this point, I didn't care. I was letting them hit me. I had the netherite armor, they couldn't damage me, and one of them happened to drop a netherite skull, accidentally hit the pigman, more skeletons were coming. I didn't care. I couldn't take literally any damage, killed them all, cleared the area, and we were done in literally no time flat. That is probably the least amount of time I have ever spent at a nether fortress getting nether skulls. That biome was insane with the skeletons. The looting helped. Absolutely insane. Only took me like a couple of days, and there you go. We were already done. I already killed the first wither in the nether, so I decided, you know what, heck with that. We're gonna kill the second wither in the end, cause why not? Get a nice little bit of variety. I had this little room here where I dug out all of the endstone to help build my base with, so that's the room I decided to spawn the wither skeleton in. Slap down that final skull, and you know what, just in case, I decided to build just a little tunnel out of the way, you know, just in case it so happened to do damage to me, but I didn't think it would, and sure enough it didn't. And for some reason, I literally don't know why, but these skulls, not only did they not do damage to me, they didn't even give me the wither effect. I genuinely don't know why. Just, I don't know, dude. It was super weird. I was actually starting to question if this wither could even damage me, to the point that I decided, you know what? Take out my chest plate. Can you damage me? There you go. It did 1 heart of damage to me. So yes, it's physically possible, but this thing is so much weaker than I remember it being. I got that star, and I went ahead and grabbed this extra end stone just in case I wanted it later for decoration, and we made it our way out of there to make our second beacon. I didn't need a second beacon for any reason whatsoever. I just wanted a second beacon, so I got a second beacon. So there you go. By the time I got back, the villagers were ready for trading again, so I used the remainder of my wood and sticks to trade again to the max with all of the villagers to get as many emeralds as I could, to the point that I actually had enough blocks throughout everything to make yet another beacon to the 2nd level. So finished it all off with 9 emeralds on top, and boom, a 2nd beacon on my island. Absolutely insane. I mean, seriously, just flexing on you guys at this point. Seriously, it was just 2 beacons on my island. I guess in the next 100 days, I'm just gonna have to max out both beacons just for maximum flex on you guys. And now I decided to work on my final project of actually building my house. I skipped ahead the boring part of just slowly making my base, and now I'm filling it all in. Now, this house actually isn't sadly original to me. Again, horrible builder. I found this really cool house tutorial online on YouTube. I'll go ahead and link the video in the description to the video that I'm copying for this house. Give him the proper credit, but I think it looked super cool. He had like water in the walls and in the floor and everything, to the point where his house was like a farm / aquarium, and I loved it, so I decided to copy it. So yeah, there you go. I didn't have as much glass as he had, so unfortunately I could only do the glass on the floor and nothing else like he had in the walls, so I had to improvise a little bit, but I think it was going to work out and look super cool in the end. So you can see right here, I'm just filling in the floor underneath the glass. I'm going to fill this entire floor here with water, and then I had a couple fish in a bucket. So I just dumped those fish in a bucket in my water floor, and boom, there you go. I now had an aquarium in my floor. And again, his walls are made out of glass. I don't have that much glass, so I had to come up with something else. I had a ton of end stone from killing that wither, so I turned them into end bricks and build them up. Skip ahead a couple of days, and as you can see, we built it all up, and I came up with an idea. If I can't fill the walls with glass to allow us to have water, I can fill them with slabs. The slabs will block the water from flowing, and we can still have this super cool looking wall design with the water. Unfortunately, I couldn't put fish in there, you know, because they just fall out, but it would still look really cool with the water in the walls. As you can see, I think it looked absolutely sick. It didn't have to be practical or anything. It's not like I was putting chests in here. I already had a separate storage area. I just wanted it to look super, super cool because that's, you know, my house. He also on his roof made a farm just for, you know, decorational purposes to make it look super cool. So that's exactly what I did, and I improvised a little bit by putting a tree in the center. We then tilled everything so I could plant a bunch of seeds, and after I did that, I filled the outside walls with these logs, as you can see, for added decorational purposes, which looked absolutely fantastic. I then used bone meal on all of these seeds out here just to make them grow faster, so that way we could, you know, see how it looks with the decoration. I also added a couple bit of bamboo to the top just for a little bit of added decoration and unique variety to it, and there you go. That is my house from the side, looking absolutely amazing. Again, mad credit to the person linked in the description. Check out the video if you want to build a house like this. Amazing tutorial on how to do it. Added some lighting so that way no mobs can spawn into this thing. That's when I remembered I actually had some end rods from the city that I looted, so I threw some of those rods down for, I don't know, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice. I liked it. And this is what the inside looks like. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I also went to my storage area and grabbed some random blocks to put in here. Again, I wasn't going to fill anything with these barrels or chests. This was all just decoration to make it look nice. Threw down some extra end rods, you know, made it look super cool. And then I decided to move my final 2 pets into my house, Bucky and my parrot. I realized I never actually named this parrot ever, and that's what I remembered throughout my mining. I'm pretty sure I remembered seeing a name tag in one of the chests in my 1 block. So I went over to my storage area to search the chests, and sure enough, in this chest, there was a name tag. Now, it was daytime on day 200, coming up in like 5 seconds. I couldn't think of a name. I just First thing that popped in my head, Sunny. I didn't have any time to think of a proper name for this parrot because we were running out of time. So I quickly named the parrot Sunny, and as you can see, I cannot sleep, which means it is officially daytime on day 200. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I spent 200 days in Minecraft 1 block. My island is looking so much fancier, so much cleaner, and so much nicer compared to the first 100 days. Again, this house, I absolutely love that house. It looks absolutely amazing. I wish I could build that good. It all looks pretty cool. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please be sure, hit that like button, subscribe, and give me some suggestions of what you want to see me do in my next 100 days. Bye!